Hey guys, Ron here, and yes, I did get a new angle. I was telling you guys I was changing my room. I got a recliner on the back. I'm gonna show you real fast. So there's that. I'll get that another video. But today we're going to review the Iron Man trilogy. I'm a huge fan of Iron Man. Showing you all these stuff. You know. So let's get these reviews started. And yes, that was a sweater, by the way. So I've been marathoning all these movies, preparing for Civil War, and let's start reviewing the first movie with Iron Man. Iron Man is directed by Jon Favreau, who did direct the sequel, and he did direct The Jungle Book, which is still a success right now out in theaters. Iron Man is about a multimillionaire guy named Tony Stark, until one day after, testing his weapons of his company, he basically gets kidnapped into like this cave with all these terrorists, and basically the terrorists bring Tony right there to build weapons for them, since they know that Tony could build weapons. And he meets this other scientist who also got trapped, so they try to find a way to escape. So they built the suit and it becomes a success, and that's how Iron Man was born, basically. And his one of his boss, played by Jeff Bridges, thinks it's a great idea. He basically tries to steal the suit to build more of these, basically, and that's basically Iron Man right there. Iron Man is a fantastic film. This movie, the acting is great. The action sequences are just amazing. The sets are also amazing. Everything about this movie is amazing. I just love this movie. I really like the chemistry between the characters, such as, Tony Stark and Pepper. The great villain also, even though I wouldn't find him too menacing, he is still a great villain. I really liked Jeff Bridges as basically the villain in this film, and it just really works out well. I will always have this movie in my heart because I believe that this is the first superhero movie I have ever watched in theaters, back in 2008. 2 days from today is going to be officially 8 years since it came out. I'm recording right now on April 30th. This movie came out on May 2nd, 2008, so almost 8 years. I just love this movie to death. I can't find any flaws with it. Overall, Iron Man gets a 10 out of 10 or an A+. And then yesterday I watched the sequel to Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is also directed by Jon Favreau, almost same stars. And this movie is basically about a guy named Ivan. He basically wants to get revenge on Iron Man for some reason. You can see that in the movie. And, Iron Man, he's just here living life, since everybody already knows that he is Iron Man. And until they basically, this guy, I don't know how to explain it well, but, he builds this suit, named Whiplash, and he does want to attack on him, and the villain in this movie, basically teams up with a company named Hammer, Justin Hammer, something like that, to, help him get revenge on Tony Stark. And, this guy, Justin Hammer, I believe his name is trying to basically build a ripoff of Iron Man. He wants to make them these robots without any humans in them. And, Tony Stark doesn't think it's a good idea. And also, there's another main plot to this movie where, Tony Stark, his arc reactor, he's basically getting poisoned by it, so he needs to look for a formula to basically not get poisoned and live. And where can I start with this movie? This movie is actually really good. It is my least favorite Iron Man movie, but I still love it. It's a great movie. The acting is very well made. The action sequences, I actually watched this movie with audio commentary in it, and it's just, this movie has an interesting background behind it. For example, the scene when they're racing in Monte Carlo, it's just amazing knowing that almost half that scene is, CGI. And this movie is just a great movie. I really like the idea of the suitcase suit, which is the one he's wearing right now, and the action sequences are really well made. They're probably some of the best action sequences in the whole trilogy. I just love this movie. We also get introduced to Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. As Whiplash just does a great job. He nails the performance. Overall, I'm going to give Iron Man 2 an 8.5 out of 10 or an A-. Just because I gave it a pretty good score doesn't mean that's a perfect movie. It definitely does have its problems behind it, but still a fun movie. I really loved it ever since I watched it in theaters the very first day it came out. And let's move on to Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, unlike the first two, isn't directed by Jon Favreau. This one is directed by Shane Black, who did direct another movie that's coming out in theaters this month. That movie is The Nice Guys. Very excited for Nice Guys. I cannot wait till it comes out. Hopefully it's a great movie. It will probably. Iron Man 3 is the story of, Tony Stark. He's still Iron Man, and he basically is getting threatened by a guy named Mandarin, who is a terrorist. He is getting threatened. He's like threatening all the world, and not just all the world, but Iron Man 2. And Iron Man kind of fears for Mandarin, so he, how can I explain this? He basically tries to fight off the Mandarin when, they destroy his building. So he basically ends up in this place, I don't know which place exactly, where he ends up meeting with this kid who basically is a pretty smart kid who could help him deal with this. And, Tony Stark, he has some anxiety attacks. This happened after the Avengers, and if you haven't seen the Avengers, I won't spoil anything, but he basically has flashbacks to the Avengers where there was something very serious happening with Iron Man, and he basically has these attacks that he just can't stop thinking of, and every time they mention the thing that happened in Avengers, he basically starts freaking out. And this movie is great. My second favorite Iron Man movie. For a lot of Marvel fans, this was a very disappointing entry in the movie, but I loved it. I did find it a little bit disappointing too, but for what the twist was, I really liked the twist. The acting was great. The action sequences are just phenomenal in this movie. They nailed the action sequences, especially that last action sequence in the last 20-25 minutes of the movie is just phenomenal. I really like the idea that they're going with Iron Patriot instead of War Machine for the military. I like that side plot of the movie, and this is just a very fun movie. It's quite fast paced if you ask me. Overall, Iron Man 3 does get a 9 out of 10 or an A. Overall, if I were to rank these movies from least favorite to favorite, I'll go least favorite Iron Man 2. Doesn't mean that I don't love it, because I do still love it. My second favorite, Iron Man 3. And my favorite, Iron Man. These movies are just great. I love them. I could have fun with them. Definitely marathon all three of them if you like this character. If you're one of those persons who didn't like Iron Man 3, you can still marathon 1 and 2, maybe skip 3. But I just love Iron Man. Team Iron Man for Captain America Civil War, definitely. So overall, I'm going to grade this whole trilogy. Overall, there are some problems with the second movie and the third movie. I couldn't find any problems with the first movie. Overall, the average trilogy, the average grade is a 9 out of 10 or an A. So yes guys, right now I'm watching Captain America the First Avenger. I just paused it. So I'm going to review both Captain America movies, and I'm going to review both Avengers movies. And then Ant-Man, then if I have time, all the Spider-Man movies. I did watch all the Spider-Man movies, by the ways. And by the way, so I won't be watching Civil War this Friday, but I'll be watching it this Saturday morning, so my dad come with me. He wants to watch the movie. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. What are your opinions on this trilogy? Do you love them as much as I do, or do you hate them? Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.